Welcome to Conversations. I'm Suresh Kochatar. The game has changed. Trump has changed the game. United States once stood as an architect of the global economic order. After the World War II, it wrote the rules, built the institutions, and insisted that the world follow it. Free trade, open markets, international cooperation, these were the pillars of the post-war system, designed not only to benefit America, but stabilize the world economy. But now the board has been flipped. Under President Trump, the rules have become rewritten or discarded entirely. With impulsive leadership style and a deep desire to win at all cost, Trump has kind of upended America's traditional role as a global economy leader, imposing tariffs without a warning. In fact, the United States has become unpredictable, no longer the trusted partner, but a wild card. Imagine playing a game of chess where you're taught the rules, and midway through the game, you stand up and accuse others of cheating and declare that the new rules only will now benefit you. That is what is happening now. Many global leaders are arguing that the US, once the champion of open markets, is now slapping tariff on allies and adversaries alike. No one knows what to expect anymore, not even America's closest friends. So what do countries do when rules change? They adapt. They move on. That's what they're doing. Brazil, once deeply tied to the United States economy, is now forging stronger ties with, say, countries like India, China, and even Mexico and Canada. In fact, that's the entire thing that is happening even with the European Union, which is positioning itself as a new champion of global trade, pitching itself as a stable and reliable partner in an increasingly volatile world. If you look back at the various parts of what Brussels did, and this is exactly what they're doing now, this is not just about temporary adjustments. Trade infrastructure is sticky. Once the new rules are written and renegotiations are kind of not possible, they don't entirely revert. Now, even if America changes the course again after Trump leaves office, the global economic map will already have shifted. The world will not be waiting around for the US to lead again. The question isn't whether countries continue trading with the United States, but whether they actually begin actively trading against it. This is the risk America is taking by stepping back from 80 years of global leadership. But the question is it worth it? The world is reacting not only to the American unpredictability, but also to China's newfound confidence. China is today stepping up the ante. It's building deeper ties with Russia and the global South, strengthening its independence from the United States supply chains and expanding the influence, especially in critical minerals, green technology, and manufacturing. The Chinese response to America's tariffs have not been timid. They're pushing back harder. And surely, their stranglehold on key technologies, resources like electric vehicles, solar, wind, and nuclear gives them the power to do it. And now, they seem to be willing to use that power. Most are choosing to have a kind of staying out of the ball with the United States. They don't want to fight with it right now. But the US is becoming the highest tariff economy in the world, drifting back to the 1930s style, protectionism and everything else. Meanwhile, other powers are filling up that gap. India, for example, signed a FTA with the UK for very obvious reasons. We will look at the European markets now going forward. But that is the most important lesson. Why has Japan, South Korea, and Australia and others, including EU, signed up? Because they need the United States. The security is revolving around the US, especially the NATO. And definitely India, not China, not Brazil needs that. Today what's happening, the emerging economies like India, Indonesia, and Brazil now make up for 40% of the global GDP, up from just 5% a few decades ago. But America, despite the risk of others, has remained flat. Global GDP at around 25%. It does not increase or decrease. Where did the new figures come from? Europe and Japan. That is where India, Brazil, and others have gained. In fact, Trump's vision, a world of transactional deals, economic bullying, and nationalist ambitions, represents a fundamental rejection of the liberal world order. America's greatest strength has always been its ability to lead with others, not over them. And the world reshapes itself with or without US leadership now. The biggest gamble isn't on tariffs or trade deal, it's on whether America can still believe in the very order that it created, because the game has changed. And if the US doesn't want to play by the old rules, others are more than willing to play that. Countries like India, Brazil, even other new emerging economies in Africa will take over. And America will be left standing high and dry. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.